Welcome in to the American Lean Podcast. This is episode 21. Today, I want to talk about Industry 4.0 and how blockchain technology will change supply chains. We'll get into the topic right after the intro.
Welcome to the American Lean Podcast, where we cover 5 topics in 5 days in about 5 minutes. The only place in the world where you can get daily lean coaching. Your host is Tom Reed, and he shares his 30 years of experience and covers leadership, culture, entrepreneurship, lean methodologies, Industry 4.0, and interviews special guests on their lean journey. We're glad you're here, so let's go.
Welcome in to the American Lean Podcast. And like I mentioned in the intro, I want to talk about how blockchain technologies will be dramatically changing supply chains. Now, as I mentioned in the original Industry 4.0 blog, there are 9 enablers that are going to support Industry 4.0 or smart manufacturing. Now, the 9 enablers are cybersecurity and blockchain, cloud computing, the industrial Internet of Things, big data, system integration, autonomous robots, or cobots as they're called, additive manufacturing, augmented reality, and simulation. Now, as technology matures, more and more manufacturers will want to automate their supply chains. And to accomplish this, they will rely upon blockchain technologies. Now, let's be honest. Most of us think of Bitcoin when we hear the term blockchain. And you might think the same thing. But an easy way to differentiate the two is to think of blockchain as an operating system like Windows. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that uses blockchain as its operating system. Now, there are other cryptocurrencies as well, Ethereum, Ripple, and many others that use the blockchain operating system. So what is blockchain? Well, it is a shared, distributed ledger that facilitates recording of transactions and tracking assets in a business network. Now, these assets can be tangible, like raw material, a machine part, or assemblies. They can also be intangible, like intellectual property, such as patents, copyrights, or branding. 2 key benefits of using blockchain across the supply chain is 1, that it is very efficient. You record the transaction information once, and it is available to all the parties through the distributed network. The second benefit is that it is safe and secure. The underlying ledger is tamper evident. A transaction can't be changed, it can only be reversed by using another transaction. In this example, both transactions would be visible. So think of it like this. Instead of each company within a supply chain keeping their own records, there's a shared record, and everyone that has permission to access the record can add their information to that shared record. When you add information, it keeps the shared record available for everyone in the blockchain to see. So to ensure that we keep the supply chain information secure, your transaction is secured using both cryptography and something called consensus. Cryptography is an encryption that ensures security. Consensus refers to the ability of the private blockchain to verify that the information is correct. As blocks, think of information, are added to the chain, they have a cryptography marker of the previous block, which links those 2 blocks together. They also have a timestamp and then the transaction data itself. So that's how we can see all transactions that have occurred in a blockchain. Now, on my daily blog, I have an infographic that shows 3 companies and 3 companies' banks. So you have Company A records and then Bank A records, Company B records and Bank B records, Company C records, Bank C records. Now, without a blockchain, each of these transactions have to occur separately. And that expands the amount of time it takes to get things through the process. The second infographic I have in this blog is where Company A, B, C, and Bank A, B, and C all share a distributed ledger that's digitally signed, approved, and an encrypted ledger available for all. Now the transactions become almost instantaneous. So I'm sure you can see from that example that there are huge reductions in friction across an entire supply chain, which is why companies want to move to it. Other examples. Imagine if customs officials could complete your legal paperwork at the receipt of goods and that you could track your goods from that point forward. What if you were in a regulated industry, like aerospace or medical device, and you could capture details down to the machine program used to manufacture specific parts that are machined? What if the inspection and certification paperwork could also be included as well? What would happen to your warranty costs if you could capture specific attributes such as torque readings, bolt patterns, etc., and those could be included in the manufacturing record? Now you could recall specific units versus a more general lot. So the opportunities are amazing for companies of all sizes using blockchain as a backbone for supply chain activities. And I gotta believe it's going to be coming soon to a supply chain near you. So I hope you've enjoyed our time together today. Consuming information is great, but I want you to take this information to make yourself and your company a little bit better today. Remember, this podcast is for you, so if there are topics that you would like me to cover, or if you'd like to share your company's lean journey, please contact me at tom@americanlean.com. Expanded show notes can be found at americanlean.com/blog. Blockchain technologies coming soon to a supply chain near you. Until tomorrow, have a great one.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, we're honored to serve you, and we hope that you and your company are getting a little bit better every day. Please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and share it with others in the lean and business community. If you'd like to turbocharge your lean efforts, please visit us at americanlean.com.